Good afternoon. Good afternoon, class. Okay, let me ask you, who among you here who have the Facebook account? Okay, most of you. Twitter account? Kukunti lang. How about YouTube account? Okay. Now, in various aspects, ICT and technology as a whole brought us comfort and convenience in life. We, as Filipinos, have been known to be avid users of technology. Some even have made a name as an internet sensation. However, aside from successes, are the downfalls of users. We already discussed the cyber crimes, and these are phishing, blackmail, or extortion, accessing stored files, communications, sports betting, electronic harassment, child pornography, prostitution, drug trafficking, and many others. So, you are already aware about the crimes being committed in the internet. My question is, do you want to be a victim of these crimes? I believe our topic this afternoon is also relevant for you as a student and as a netizen. This afternoon we will have a debate. I believe you are already ready on your part. So let us give a hand to each and every one, and for those who have a part in this afternoon's debate. Thank you, sir.
Welcome to the Netizens Debate 2016. I am Anjo Onyado.
And I am Anime Anchola.
And we are your hosts for today's debate. Nowadays, students are active online, especially in social media. Two sides will be debating on should school administrations monitor the students' online activity.
The speakers should give the arguments on the said issue.
So may I introduce to you the speaker of the affirmative side. First speaker, Ella May Aranwes. Second speaker, Rachel May Lirio. Third speaker, Riza Baruela. Fourth speaker, Ilen Balico. Fifth speaker, Rick Boloron. And the affirmative rebuttal speaker, Annalie Sharon.
Speakers from the negative side. First speaker, Joanna Mojica. Second speaker, Clint Mishona. Third speaker, Shenimei Nakwa. Fourth speaker, Daisy Balunda. Fifth speaker, Marjorie Guisan. And the negative rebuttal speaker, Christy Jean Capricho.
So may I introduce to you our judges. Our first judge is the principal of this institution, no other than Ma'am Maria Elena E. Direje.
Our second judge is also a teacher of this institution. She is teaching Earth and Life Science and Mathematics. Our second judge is none other than Miss Rodele B. Noble.
And our chairman of the board of judges, he is a teacher of this institution. He is teaching oral communication and contemporary art. Our chairman of the board of judges is no other than Mr. Jaylor T. Umali. And our timekeeper is no other than Rena Jane Giliano. The debaters, the first and second debaters, should I say, the first and last debaters will have 2 minutes in which to deliver the remarks, and the rest will have 1 minute, after which the debaters will have 1 minute for the interpellation. So let's start the debate. The first speaker of the affirmative side.
Good afternoon, everyone. Education is a moral enterprise in which we need to re-engage the hearts, minds, and hands of our children, informing their own characters, helping them to know the good, love the good, and do the good by the Boston University in 1996. There has been much discussion about whether it is appropriate to schools to monitor the social media activities of students. School culture is what matters most. Schools, along with parents, of course, do have an obligation to keep track of what students are doing online. Our teacher serves as our second parent. And yes, just like our parents, they have rules and tasks in our life. The task, which might better be called moral socialization or training, is the task of nurturing in children those virtues and values that makes them good people. And the other one is to provide students with the intellectual resources that enable them to make informed and responsible judgments about difficult matters of moral importance. Both are proper and important tasks of schools. Then, why did you say that teachers or the school administration should not monitor the students in their online activities? Well, in fact, based on the Republic Act number 10627, implementing rules and regulations, otherwise known as the Anti-Bullying Act of 2013. Rule number 1. In the section number 2, the scope and coverage. These rules shall cover all public and private kindergarten, elementary and secondary schools, and learning sectors. Rule number 2, in the section number 3, definition of terms. Number 4, cyberbullying or any bullying done through the use of technology or any electronic means. The term shall also include any conduct resulting of harassment, intimidation, or humiliation through the use of other forms of technologies, such as, but not limited to texting, email, instant messaging, chatting, internet, social media, online games, or other platforms or formats as defined in DepEd number 40 as 2012.
And now, let's proceed for the interpolation of the negative side.
Did you say a while ago that school culture is what matters most, right? So what do you think is really the essence why must teacher monitor students in their online activities? We go to school to learn for us to know the wrong and bad. If we are in our house, our mother and our father are our parents. But if we are in our school, our teacher serves as our second parents. Yes, our teachers teaches us and our parents parenting us. So, if we sum it up, our teachers teaches and parenting us the good and bad for us to be responsible and disciplined in what we are doing in order for us to be a good citizen. Lastly, we must bear this to our mind that they do their job as a teacher because they care about our future. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed to the first speaker of the negative side.
Good afternoon, everyone. New technology always comes with new worries. Over the past few years, many schools have begun monitoring students' social network accounts to combat bullying. Should schools be allowed to do this? No, for many reasons. For one, students don't really get a choice of what school they get to go to. Normally, it is whichever school is closest to the student. If company wanted to monitor their employees, the employees always have the choice to quit and choose another company to work for. Yet, students can always choose what district or school that they go to because they may only pick the school in the particular area they live. Well, what happens when a student is posting or messaging abusive speech to another student? Wouldn't it be sensible for the school to monitor such behavior? Doesn't the school have to prevent such harassment on campus? Bullying is a problem in this country, and a lot of bullying occurs over the internet. According to the iSafe Foundation, 1/3 of young people have been harassed over the internet. So, is school monitoring social networks the solution? No. The simple fact that not even half of kids tell their parents of the harassment shows that the problem with prevention of bullying lies within the relationship between parents and students. No school can replace that relationship. The real problem with school monitoring isn't the fact that school want to stop bullying. It is when a school monitors students outside and inside the school. Here are 7 reasons why should school administrator not monitor the online activities of the student. First, it is an invasion of privacy. Second, it is extremely inefficient. Third, schools are hypocrites. 4, it is unfair to parents. 5, the cost really adds up. And 6, schools cannot tell the intent of posts. And lastly, schools are monitoring also the teachers. The best way to do the school administration is educating students on what to do against cyberbullying and how to prevent it. Ultimately, the school's job is to punish. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed to the interpellation of the affirmative side.
You said a while ago that new technologies always comes with new worries, right? Are you aware of bullying or cyberbullying in your school? So what did you prepare? Security or privacy?
Privacy.
Yes or no, madam?
Yes.
Okay. Then, why should school administration should not monitor the students? Well, in fact, it is for our own good and security. School administration should not monitor the online activity of the students in a very sense that students unable to fully express themselves. It can potentially lead a school to be abusive and infringe on First Amendment rights. Yes, it is for our own good and security. Yet, there could be another more efficient and less superfluous way to really help prevent these shortcomings and not invade students' privacy. Thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's proceed for the second speaker of the affirmative side.
Schools, along with parents, of course, do have an obligation to keep track of what students are doing online. I don't feel, however, that schools should need to go on fishing expeditions where they scour the web and social media for inappropriate behavior. In a perfect world, paying a company to watch over online interactions of students wouldn't be necessary. I feel that schools should work to develop a culture where everyone looks out for everyone else. And if something of concern arises, someone will step up and take appropriate action. Some people might say that schools should not monitor students' social media, but it's privacy. Really that important what you or other could die from something that didn't need to happen?
And now, let's proceed to the interpellation of the negative side.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker. Speaking of privacy, do you have any secrets? Okay, so do you experience the time that someone knows your secrets?
Yes.
Okay, I guess you're already experienced that. So what do you feel? Okay, nervous. So for you, do they respect your privacy? Okay. So do you want any privacy? So that's our point, Madam Speaker. We want privacy, just like you. Thank you.
And now, let's proceed for the second speaker of the negative side.
Allowing to monitor the students' online activities will violate different laws. First, as what my companion said, social media monitoring seem like an invasion of privacy and could violate Privacy Act. Declaration of Human Rights under Article number 12 or the right to privacy clearly states that no one shall be subjected to arbitrary interference with his privacy, family, home, or correspondence, nor to attack upon his honor and reputation. Second, according to the Merriam-Webster Dictionary, monitoring is referred as to watch, to observe, or to check something over a period of time. It opens an idea that they are allowing students to feel uncomfortable thinking that someone is watching over them. Students will have this feeling that they are always doing wrong, or that they will have to watch everything they say and act. And it will lead now to the limitation of the expressions of their feeling towards a certain person, event, and even the one who monitors them. Take note again that Declaration of Human Rights under Article number 19 or the freedom of expression states that everyone has the right to freedom of opinion and expressions. This right includes freedom to hold opinions without interference and to seek, receive, and import information and ideas through any media and regardless of frontiers. Thank you.
And now, let's proceed to the interpolation of the affirmative side.
The third, Mr. Speaker. Which is more important, your safety or your privacy?
Of course, privacy, Madam Speaker. How can you attain your own safety without any privacy? And Madam Speaker, safety from what?
Safety against cyberbullying.
Well, for them but not for us. And Madam Speaker, cyberbullying is not only the issue here. Don't limit your arguments and questions to cyberbullying. So do you have any questions, Madam Speaker? Thank you.
Let's proceed for the third speaker of the affirmative side.
Some argue that schools monitoring social media amounts to a violation of a student's privacy. I am not particularly convinced of that. Most students see what we post in public spaces, and it is open for anyone to see. The company states that it actively looks for anything online that could threaten the safety and well-being of students in the district, including cyberbullying and threats of self-harm. Cyberbullying is dangerous, and safety comes first. With the case of a 12-year-old Florida girl who committed suicide after classmates relentlessly bullied her online and offline.
So let's proceed for the third speaker of the negative side.
Justin Timberlake said, "The worst thing being famous in the invasion of your privacy, but now even students are losing privacy. Schools should not monitor students' social media. The reason is that students can post false accusations about things that can happen in school, and teachers already control us at school, and this is our lives, not theirs. As an individual, we need our own privacy. How sure you are that if teachers monitor the students, they will be safe? Is our safety depends on how they monitor us? Teachers might snoop to other things like our personal chats with our friends. According to Merriam, teachers are the one who should teach us in a certain topic, not the one who will stalk us or monitor us. And if teachers know too much about students, it can become a serious threat." Thank you.
And the interpolation of the affirmative side.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker. Did you post your personal data in your account like your name, middle name, and surname?
Yes.
So, is there a privacy? Yes, I post my name, my surname, and my middle name, but that's a very little thing, Madam Speaker. Because name and my surname was given by my parents, so I should be proud of it. And as long as I'm not displaying my whole data, it can have a privacy for me. So that's it for all. Thank you.
Let's proceed for the fourth speaker of the affirmative side.
The company states actively looks for anything online that could threaten the safety and well-being of students in the district, including cyberbullying, traits of self-harm. These could be posts that are rated from school or not, using school-owned technology or not. The technology also allows for flagging and reporting of drug use or class cutting, or really anything publicly posted by students that could be viewed as problematic to the school. On the effectiveness of monitoring and blocking software and preventing experiences with cyberbullying. Through articles, critics liken the monitoring to government stalking. Schools officials to their contractors say that the purpose is actually student safety. The answer is that students are now using their phones and laptops as their primary means of communication. In our earlier era, students might simply talk in class or in the hallways.
And now the interpolation of the negative side.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker. Do you agree that students need social media involved in some online activities? Yes or no? Okay, if involving or engaging into online activities could not harm you? Yes or no? Are you sure that by monitoring students or online activities could have now the attainment of the safetyness of the students? Okay, is there any obligation to be done by the school administrators or school administration if the students involved in online activities? Yes or no?
Let's proceed for the fourth speaker of the negative side.
Good afternoon, everyone. To the question, should school administrations monitor online activities of the students? We simply put the answer no. No school administrators should not view or should not monitor our online activities. Students' online activities have little or nothing to do with the schools. Monitoring students' online activities takes time away from educators' regular duties and can lead to a more of a disciplinary mindset rather than an educational one. This monitoring could pose legal liabilities, put educators into a role they not trained for, and generally track what the students are saying even though they are no reasonable suspicion of wrongdoing. And we should have freedom. Thank you.
The interpolation of the affirmative side.
Good afternoon, Madam Speaker. Do you have any fear that school administrators should have no? Yes or no? No. Why you don't want to allow the school administrator to monitor your online activities that their purpose is for your own safety and their goal is to protect you as a student? Yes. Yes, its goal is to protect as a student. But each one of us has privacy. And as I said earlier, we should have freedom. It's their own risk. It's the student's private business unless cyberbullying or suicide attempts or things like that. Thank you.
And now, let's proceed for the fifth speaker of the affirmative side.
Privacy or life? I get it. It's your privacy. But wouldn't you rather save life than keeping your social media private? Anyway, if you didn't do anything bad, why are you worrying? That's why schools should monitor students' social media. The reasons are cyberbullying is dangerous and safety come first. The first is cyberbullying is dangerous. On the website it says around 100,000 people die, commit suicide, or get abducted because of media activity. These supports may claim because school can help the ones who being bullied. The second reason is safety come first. On the website it said the point to recent shooting which the teenage gunman involved had posted threats on social media shortly before. They took violent acts. This support may claim because schools can be warned when something violent is going to happen.
And now, the interpolation of the negative side.
Good afternoon, Mr. Speaker. Are you aware of identity thief? You have mentioned cyberbullying a while ago, right? If school administrator can see posts such as threats on social media for a student, could school administrator do something to prevent or stop it?
Yes, when you post to social media, everyone can see. Schools can make sure kids aren't in trouble. This support may claim because everyone needs to see what you post and see if you're good. This support may claim because social media help people a lot to see if you're good person or bad person. Yes, some people might. Schools shouldn't monitor social media. However, is privacy really more important knowing someone?
And now the fifth speaker of the negative side.
Good afternoon, everyone. Privacy, like eating and breathing, is one of life's basic requirements. Then, could you fulfill your life's basic requirement if somebody would invade your privacy? It's not the school's business, it's your parents' business. Imagine if you were in high school and you have boyfriends or girlfriends. Should school administrator really need to know your conversations and chat? There are many things that need privacy, especially your own and personal account. And it's different in doing activities in school. Surely and definitely, school administrators have the right to monitor your school activities. But with your personal account, it's different thing. Then, they don't have the right. And why? If they can see such bad posts in your account, threats for you, can they do something to prevent and to stop? They are just monitoring, and nobody can predict that there are people outside your school or in your community who are threatening you. School administrators should not monitor the online activities of the students. Thank you.
And now the interpolation of the affirmative side.
You said a while ago that it's not the school business, it's your parents' business, right? Did you know that your teacher considered as second parent? So as a second parent, they have an obligation to be monitor you as a student.
Yes, we all know that teachers here in school is our second parent. But may I have this quote? Teachers should limit their limitations, especially with their privacy, because even our parents gives us privacy in our lives. That's all. Thank you.
And now, the sixth speaker for the overview. Should school administrations monitor the students' online activities? Let's proceed to the sixth negative rebuttal speaker. Affirmative, rather.
We, the affirmative side, we strongly agree that school administrators should monitor the online activities of the students. Many people die, commit suicide or get abducted every year because of media activity. If schools see what is happening there and a possibility that they save lives and give a chance to young generation's future. Social media monitoring can alert administrators to potential threats. Many schools are hiring school media monitoring companies to track what their students are saying on the internet. The monitor will not lead individual posts but will simply alert administrators to distributing trends, such as particular students using the word kill or bomb door many times. As the second speaker said, that some people might say that schools should not monitor students' social media, but is privacy really that important when you as others could die from something? It doesn't mean that school administrators will monitor your online activity that you lose already your privacy. And publicly posted by students that could be viewed as problematic to the school. And their goal is to protect them as a student. Which is more significant to you, privacy or safety? Thank you.
The interpolation of the negative rebuttal statement.
I guess, Madam Speaker, our safety will be based on our privacy. So I will ask you with the same question. If you were to choose privacy or safety?
Safety.
If that's so, if you were to choose again, the first or the last, or the root or the fruit?
The first.
Okay, Madam Speaker, you choose the first. And Madam Speaker, as I said a while ago, privacy first before safety. And I guess you choose privacy. Thank you.
And now let's proceed to the sixth negative rebuttal speaker.
Good afternoon. According to John Breed, an American illustrator and writer for children's picture books, teachers have to respect the privacy of students' creative life, but at the same time, give them a chance to express themselves. We cannot express ourselves if we are being monitored, and we are saying no to this question. Should school administration monitor students' online activities? No, because according to Benjamin Harold, an Education Week reporter, does the government have the right to search your private social media account? How is that different from searching your locker? Because they are not only monitoring your posts, but they are also into your private messages. We have this law, a Declaration of Human Rights under Article number 12, or the right to privacy. And the reason for this monitoring is for the student safety. We all know that your safety will be based on your privacy. And how can we have this privacy if the school administration will invade it? I want to emphasize what my companion said a while ago, that if teachers know too much about students, it can become a serious threat. Like, for example, a former Beach Grove High School teacher faces a felony stalking charge after she stalked his male student through Facebook and threatened him by sending a message. One of these is, "I just want you to know that I love you and I want you to be happy, and it will never happen if I'm alive." We can't deny the fact that there are many cases just like this happen nowadays. That the student safety is monitored? I guess not, because they are only monitoring those students, not the teachers. With the case above mentioned, the student is not the threat, but the teacher itself. If the student or if the school will monitor the privacy of the students, or will invade the privacy of the student, can students do the same? Can we also monitor the school administration's online activities? Thank you.
And now the interpolation of the negative, affirmative speak.
If you know you didn't do anything wrong, why would you feel uncomfortable at the teachers who are monitoring your posts?
As I said
a while ago, Madam Speaker, that they are only into your posts, they're also into your private messages. And we can't deny the fact that we all have secrets. So if the teachers or someone will know this secret or will know that secret, it will never be a secret anymore. Thank you.
The affirmative and the negative side are already presented their arguments. And now may we hear the side of the audience? Let's start with Ramilin Makitit.
According to the argument that both sides deliver, I am in favor into negative sides. Why? Simply because according to the Act in 1993, number 28, an act that promotes and protects individual privacy in general accordance with the recommendation of Council of the Organization for Academic Cooperation and Development concerning guidelines. Yes, teachers consider our second parents that teach us and guide us when we are in school. But they have a limitation, especially in our privacy, because according to what our speaker said, privacy is our identity. Thank you.
Miss Jeremy Carriaga.
I am favor into affirmative side because if you know you did do anything wrong, why would you feel uncomfortable at the teacher's time? Your fault.
Thank you. And now, Ms. Rhea Jane Villagracia.
I'm favor for the affirmative side. Why? Many people doing a crime and get abducted every year because of the social media. If they monitor in the school what is happening to the students, there is possibility that they save their life.
And now, Ms. Rochelle Inad.
I am in favor of the negative side because all of them clearly deliver their speech about should school administration monitor online activities of the students. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. So, partner, we will be waiting the decision of the jury if whose team will be winning in this debate competition. Partner, saan ka ba? Sa negative or sa affirmative?
Ako sa affirmative because we all know that in the Facebook account nandoon yung school, ilalagay yung school kung saan ka nag-aaral, and yun lang. And ikaw, saan ka?
Negative ako, partner, syempre.
And now, may I call on the chairman of the Board of Judges for the announcement of the winner.
Good afternoon. I would like to congratulate everyone from the affirmative and the negative side for a very good presentation of their arguments as well as on the establishing of their cases on should school administration monitor students' online activities. Well, if I am to make a decision on this matter, I would definitely be choosing, or the Board of Adjudicators chooses the affirmative side because of the very fact that they presented a good case stating some facts and figures about those students who have committed suicide in cyberbullying. Well, of course, the only problem on the negative side is they weren't able to define clearly what students' online activities. Well, I guess, again, congratulations everyone. The winner for this debate competition, should school administration monitor students' online activities, is the affirmative side. That's for me.
And now, may I call on Mr. Aris B. Panes.
Congratulations to the affirmative side. And thank you for your effort. Though hindi tayo nanalo, but I believe you give your best. I believe those issues that you discussed give you some insights on your social or your online activities. Now, let us go back to our lesson. As a part of our discussion this afternoon, let me ask you, is it appropriate that the school will react on a student's sexy photo? Huh? Yes. Yes? Who says yes? And who says no? Anyone who can give their views on that? Next question. What would be the best way if the school will respond on a certain bullying among students, especially in cyberbullying?
I guess the best way to respond or to the school respond is to have a one-on-one conference with the bully and the victim. Yes.
Thank you. Is it necessary that the parents will be informed about the incident? Okay, it should be. My next question. What do you suggest if the school will create a committee to monitor the students' online activities? What? Yes? Cheryl?
It's okay that the school administration monitor the students' online activities because the purpose is actually the student safety.
So, student safety is the priority, as you said. But, any suggestion on creating that committee? Or any guidelines on creating that monitoring? Anyone? Yes.
If the school administrator would decide to have a committee in monitoring the students' online activities, my suggestion is they will just limit their monitoring, sir, the way how they monitor the students, sir, and they will just sir, bigyan pa rin nila ng privacy yung students, sir.
Thank you. So, you are suggesting that there will be a limitations. So, limitations can be set in the rules and policies or procedures in terms of monitoring. So, now, as a final output, I am giving you the time to submit your reaction paper on our topic for this afternoon. So please submit that tomorrow in our class. Good afternoon and congratulations everyone.